over there in that nice New York neighborhood lives Holden Caulfield. And over here in the ghetto of New York lives James McBride. You may say that these two kids are very different. No! They are not different. Okay? They both live in New York. They both trouble kids. Okay? So, you want to find out what's up with them? How their life went? Well, stay tuned. I'm standing outside the Caulfield's house, where Holden, the son, just got taken away to an insane asylum. Holden, he was a very, how you say, despondent child. His brother died when he was very young. He dropped out of many high schools. He had it very hard. And, well, now he's in an insane asylum. So, for Holden Caulfield, yes, he is on his way to recovery. This is the McBride family residence. 12 young kids lived inside of there. Very crammed and very testy little kids. Yes, it was a very hard time for them, but they were very intelligent. So, in this house lived a bow-legged mother of 12 kids. Yes, and she experienced in the ghetto many muggings. Actually, one mugging. Give me your money! Is that a good?
Today's guest is Sarah Palin with her new book, Going... Today's guest is James McBride with his new book, Color of Water. In the studio with us is James McBride, and he is the author of this book, and to protect his identity and to ensure that no one knows who he is, we haven't painted him a silhouette. So, Mr. McBride, what inspired you to start writing this book?
Well, my childhood was very hard, and I don't know, just I tried to find my heritage, and I searched for it, and I went back to like my mother's hometown, and just like, I don't know, I just came up with writing this book, and it's been a real success.
And was it inspiring? Was it worth it to trace your steps back?
Yes, it really was, because I was one of 12 black children, and my mother was white, and that was very confusing for me. And when I would ask my brothers and sisters, they would just kind of like play it off and say, no, you're not black, or you're not white, you know. And when I would ask my mother, she really wouldn't tell me until I got older. So, you know, like searching, like going back into my past and finding out that, you know, I'm half Jewish was really important for me.
That must be tough. So, while you were researching for this book, what were some interesting things that you found out about your mom's family?
Well, I mean, I don't know, I found out that her father was a very, very bad person. Yes, he was very bad. he was all about money. He didn't really love his kids, and and that was very hard for me too. To just find that out about my mother. And also, I found out that she had a sister and brother, but really, like, I couldn't really find anything about them. Like, her brother, he was in the war, and all of his war records were gone in a fire. And his sister, she left right around when my mom's mother died. So, and no one knows where she is.
Now, what being more specific, what specific challenges or events in your life really do you think played a big role in you coming out to end up writing this book?
Well, I mean, just like, I don't know, like, when my stepfather died, everything kind of like fell apart, and I started drinking and doing drugs, and I kind of like in that, like, once I kind of got out of that, or while I was trying to get out of that, I kind of just, I decided that I was going to become more successful and just kind of like know who I was, and it really pushed me to write this book.
So I know you read a lot, and I was wondering if there are some other books out there that you'd like to recommend to your audiences.
Well, I just picked up the book, Catcher in the Rye.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a real great book. It's about
I had to read that for lit class back freshman year.
Oh, really? Yeah. Wow. Well, geez, smart teacher. Yeah. Well, Holden Caulfield. Yeah, he's a troubled kid, and he's just trying to get by. He's very depressed, and it's a really interesting book. It's a real page turner. Good thing you read it in freshman year.
Yeah, it really helped me out.
Yeah.
In reading this book myself, you talked a lot about music, and I was wondering, like, if you'd like to just expand on what music meant to you a little bit.
Well, I mean, music, it was a really big part of me, and it was just, like, in me, and I had to get it out, like, I couldn't function without music. It was just hard for me, and, like, music, it just made me happy. Like, for the most part, music just made me happy.
Okay, and, now, what was your biggest fear growing up? I know you had a lot of them, but what would you say your biggest one was?
Truthfully, like, I wasn't really scared of monsters or any. I was scared of black power, and I was scared for my mother's life. This funny story. It's actually in the book. I'm getting on the bus to go to camp, and I see this kid doing this awesome handshake with his father, and it was really cool. And when he gets on the bus, everyone's like, "Whoa, like, who taught you that handshake? It's so cool." And he said, "Well, my dad's a Black Panther, and he taught me the handshake." And I saw him standing right next to my mother, and it just freaked me out. I thought he was gonna kill her, because my mother's white and he's a Black Panther. So I was trying to call to my mom and tell her, like, run away from the Black Panther, but I couldn't. She couldn't hear me. So I turned around and I punched the Black Panther's child, just square in the nose, just punched him as hard as I could.
Okay, well, that and many other interesting stories are available to read in The Color of Water by James McBride. Thank you for joining us.
Yes. And that's our special.